Okay, I think that's the first lot of people in. Excellent. Okay, so we'll get started anyway. Welcome to the first year induction evening. My name is Miss Ryan and I'm principal of Hartstown Community School. So I'll just do a brief introduction to everybody that you're going to be speaking with tonight. Then I'm going to go through a few kind of procedures of how our online induction evening is going to work, and we'll get started on our presentation. So I want to introduce you to Mr. Fleming, who is a deputy principal in the school.
Hello.
The next person then is Miss Clince, a deputy principal in the school.
Hi, everybody.
Miss Costello, who's also a deputy principal in the school.
Hi, everybody.
Mr. Grennan, who will be your first year head in September.
Good evening, everyone.
And Miss Murphy, who will be the SEN Link teacher in September for your year group as well.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, so that's all the faces that you're going to be meeting in September. We'll be the people that you'll be dealing with mostly at the start of your time until you meet all of your teachers as well. So first of all, I'll go through a few of our kind of online procedures. You might notice in the corner there that we are recording the session for parents that aren't able to access this evening, so we will be recording it and putting it up onto our YouTube channel. We'll be recording it just up as far as the live Q&A session. So once we start that and we have our chat as well, if you wish to ask a question, you can put your hand up, raise your hand up in Zoom at the end, and we'll go through it from person to person at that stage. Or if you want to put your question into the chat feature as well, we're going to read out those questions then at the end and answer them then as a panel at that time. So just before you put up questions or anything like that, can you just make sure that your name is visible on your screen as well, so that just so we know who we're talking to or who we're addressing when we're answering our questions, okay? So I'm going to start sharing my screen now, and you should see our presentation pop up in a second. And we'll get going from there then. So very exciting times for you all. Coming into first year into secondary school. I know you're getting a slightly different experience to last year's first years, where at least this year you're getting to finish 6th class in your school. So you're getting that lovely bit of closure. You're getting to do all those lovely celebrations and hang out with your friends and everything, and do all those lovely things that you do in June before you finish the 6th class and before you become a secondary school student. So we're really delighted that you're getting the opportunity to do that this year. It's absolutely fantastic. We can't wait to welcome you to our school. We're very, very excited about first years coming in every single year, but we know that this year is going to be extremely special for you guys, because you've had a lockdown this year, you've had a lot of homeschooling this year, and we are really optimistic at how good next year is going to be, with a full school year, with a whole range of activities, with the country opening up a bit more and more people being able to meet and gather together. We're all really optimistic and positive for next year, so it's a really exciting time for you. I know that it can be a little bit daunting at first, thinking, God, it's a big school and there's lots of people and lots of new faces, lots of students, you know, where's your classroom going to be, where's the toilet, who am I going to sit beside, all of that. Loads of different questions, but that's completely normal, and everybody in 6th class, when they're going into secondary school, no matter what school they're going to, feels the same way as that. So we hope that by having our induction even, you'll have a better feel of what it's like when you come in September, kind of the activities that you'd like to get involved in, and we're going to give you lots of information this evening on how to be organised and what to expect, and all the new developments that we're going to have for next year, okay? So I'm going to start off with, first of all, this is the centre of our whole school, and you're going to see this loads next year up around the school, in your journal and so on, and you're going to hear your teachers repeating this a lot to you. Our school, we love this code. We treat it with great respect, because it's something we always come back to when we're looking at, you know, who we are now as a school and who we want to be as a school in a couple of years' time. So our school code is underpinned by these 3 fantastic principles of respect for yourself, respect for others, and respect for diversity. So that's part of our charter of behaviour, it's part of our ethos, our mission statement, it's part of our interactions, our relationships, everything that we do in the school is all about respect for yourself, for others, and for diversity. It's a huge part of what it means to be a Hartstown Community School student. Our school crest. So this was designed last year. So we had a look at our older crest and we absolutely loved it. We loved what it embodied as a crest and what it meant to the school. And there's such a fantastic history in our school that we wanted something very similar that reflected that history, but that kind of modernized, I suppose, the style of the crest and made the important parts of the crest, which were the four pieces that I'm going to go through here, but made them more prominent, where you can see them clearly on the uniform, and you're going to see the crest everywhere throughout the school. Again, it's another thing that we live by in the school. On the crest, you'll see that there's a lot of symbolism in it. Three of these images were the original crest. So we've just made them more visible to people and we've changed it slightly around, especially with the purple section there. So the first part on the top left is about our academics in the school. We promote lifelong learning where it doesn't end at junior cert, it doesn't end at leaving cert. We promote lifelong learning in the school. The H then in the side is we have Hartstown and Hartstown, two local communities. But when you come to our school, we're all one community. So about two communities coming together and representing those two communities as well. The person at the bottom, so this used to be just a sports person, but now we've changed it to a person that looks like they're moving. They could be dancing, they could be catching a ball, they could be doing yoga, they could be stretching, but it's all about movement and self-expression. And that's a huge part of our extracurriculars in the school. Then the tree on the bottom right, this symbolizes nurture, growth, strength, support and wisdom. And again, this is all coming from our mission statement and our ethos of the school. These are the four big areas of our school: our community, our academics, how we grow and nurture our students, and the extracurriculars that we offer our students as well. We want them to be a healthy, happy school. That's what we're all about. Okay, so I'm going to move on over to Mr. Grennan, who's going to talk to you a little bit about your supportive network.
Thanks very much, Ms. Ryan. And again, I'd just like to extend a warm welcome to all the incoming first years and indeed your parents and guardians as well. Now, one of my roles as the year head is to just oversee the day-to-day management and welfare of the year group. Thankfully, and that's an onerous task because that's not something that one person can do alone. So guys, what I want you to have a look at here is how extensive the support network is for you. So I hope that might allay any fears or anxieties you have around coming to school and thinking that it's overawing, that it's just too difficult to try and manage on your own. So I hope that slide gives you some insight into how supported you will be in the school.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, next slide then, please. The name of the classes, so we have a lovely tradition in the school, and I suppose it's born out of the fact that we're a sizable school, so well over 1,000 students in the school. So typically for year group, we would have anything from 7 to 8 tutor classes. So in terms of giving the class an identity, we've had a tradition where we would name classes after, a whole wide range and diverse things like it could be rivers, lakes. We had lots of different class names down the year. So I suppose when looking through all of those over the last number of years, I decided just to pick famous Irish male and female actors. So you can see the list there. I'm sure all of them are familiar to you if you all are into watching your movies. So we've got Ronan after Saoirse, of course, Gleeson after Brendan, Tricia Shaw, we have Pierce Brosnan, Brenda Fricker, Cillian Murphy, and then last but not least, Harris, who you might know from, of course, the Harry Potter movies. So I think it's a lovely way of giving the class an identity. So each of those class, you'll be distributed into those classes. We'll be working on that very shortly. So when you meet at assembly time in the morning, after a small introduction and just talking you through the day events, you'll be moving it into your tutorial classes, and that's where you'll meet your tutor. So that's what the first year classes will be named after this year. Okay. Now, I'm sure you all have lots of questions, and I guess these are just a small sample of questions that both students and parents would have in their transition from primary to secondary school. So questions like, will my child be safe? Will my child be happy? Will my child make friends? And will my child get a good education? and then finally, will there be enough extracurricular on offer? So I suppose, in short, the answer to all of those is a resounding yes. Each of those questions actually, in some way, will be answered as we go through the rest of the slides in the presentation. So, you know, we can all stand over every one of those, you know, confirmations that, you know, your child will be safe in the school and with lots of opportunity to make friends. And the question about a good education. So again, on the website, to all the education reports from inspector reports across whole school inspections, and they go into great detail. So we've always had fantastic outcomes and results when it came to those assessments. So a resounding yes across the board there for all of those questions. I'm sure you'll have many more, but during the Q&A session at the end, you know, we'll be in a position to be able to answer as many of those as we can for you. Okay. Thank you. Next slide.
Thanks very much.
It's back to you then, Ms.
Yeah,
Ryan.
thank you very much, Mr. Grennan. I'm just going to refresh the screen as there's a Marco. And just refresh the screen so we'll be able to see clearly. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So our collective roles. So this is the important structure of the school. We are very passionate about the relationships that we have with parents in the school. We want to make sure that our communication lines are open, that there's a respectful relationship between the parent and the school and the child, so that all of us knows what our responsibilities are, so that we can all work together to make sure that we're providing the best care and the best support for your child in the school. So it really underpins how we communicate and how we move forward. We listen to the parent's voice, we seek advice and support on different areas of the school. We have a really good relationship with the Parents Association. They work really hard with the school about decisions and choices that are made about the school's development over the years. So it's a really strong relationship that we have, and it's something that we really promote in the school, that we all have a role to play in providing a top-class education for your child, and that is completely underpinned with good communication, support for each other and respect for each other. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, Mr. Grennan.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ryan. Right here, with the heading Positive Rewards, I mean, underpins everything that we want to do and to enrich the learning environment for our students. So it's really important that we recognise in the school everything that students do in a positive nature. So you can expect them, not only in first year, but all the way through your time in the school, that everything that you do of a positive nature will be rewarded. So this slide shows some examples of how we can positively reward students. So it could be a good note in your school journal. And I think it's really important as well that, you know, the students, when they go home at the end of the school day, you know, would show their parents or guardians, you know, when they get that good note. And we would love to see a parent signature as well, just to recognize and acknowledge that, you know, your son and daughter has done something that warranted a good note. Certificates of achievement then, that covers a whole range of things. That could be academic achievements. It could be something that students involved in the life of the school. It could be sporting, music, drama. So again, achievements covers a whole plethora of different activities within the school. Class prizes then as well. So it could be something like the best group that attended over a particular month. So a little bit of healthy competition between the classes. I suppose one reward that students will always remember and that would take away from their time in school would be particularly when they were able to get out of the school environments and go on trips. So not only trips in Ireland, but also foreign trips as well. So we have a great tradition of trips in the school. I'm sure many of you have had older brothers or maybe still be in the school will be able to tell you a lot about their experiences. And then postcards as well. So this is kind of a new phenomenon that started recently where, again, a class teacher, it could be the assistant year head, it could be your tutor, it could be myself, where we just see a pattern where a student has been excelling and performing really well, that we'd like to reward that just with a little postcard, just to say, you know, keep up the good effort. We are recognizing what you're doing, and that's something, again, that a lot of students would have received in their time in school.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Grennan. The postcards are wonderful, and this year we ran a competition with first year students. They got to design the postcards that goes home, and it's always, the postcard is all, the picture on the front is always of either student work or a picture about the school. It always comes from the students, which is absolutely beautiful. But this year we had a wonderful competition by first years, and they got to design the winner got to design the front of the postcard. So it was a really personal thing for first years. It was lovely. Okay, so I'm going to move on to this part now. So the ladder of referral is basically how our behaviour management charter works in the school. So we kind of start off at if there's an issue, and sometimes these things happen, and that's okay, but if there's an issue with something, with or anything like that, it usually starts with the class teacher managing it. There's usually communication to the parent, to the journal. So the journal is a really important piece. The teacher as a communication piece between school and home. So you can get notes in it, but you could also get a note about detention, but no, none of you are going to get anything like that. Or you could set, note on the progress of your child as well. So make sure you keep checking that. Communication, then the next kind of step would be for a phone call from a teacher to discuss progress as well. The next step up from that then would be on a report card, which works really, really well. It helps the student to check in with their behaviour from class to class throughout the day. Then the next step up from that then would be having a detention. Then it goes on to a 1-day suspension or 3-day suspension, and then board of management. That's if restrictions and work, it moves up to the next level of intervention, or in the next level of a sanction each time. Okay. So it's to let parents know the charter of behaviour is our policy in the school, on our code of behaviour, and that's about how we manage positive behaviour methods. Okay, I'm going to pass you over now to Miss Murphy, who is our SEN lane teacher.
Thank you. So good evening. My name is Deirdre Murphy, and I am a member of the SEN department here in Hartstown Community School. So there are a team of us who work together to support our students. We have an overall coordinator, and then each of us work with an individual year group and link in. So I have just finishing up working with our current 6th years, and I'm now looking forward to meeting our new 1st years. So our focus in the department is to assist our students with additional needs to reach his or her full potential. And so once we have identified the needs, we can then support the students and monitor their progress as they move throughout the school in their journey through Hartstown. So on the next slide then, we can see how we identify. We have the 3 different ways, and the first way is So the first thing we do then is we have the information that is provided by you, the parents, on the enrollment forms, and then we link in with the primary schools, which we have been doing over the last number of weeks, and they have got to know your children very well over the last number of years. So we have lots of very good information from there, and it really is just to help ensure that smooth transition for all of the children from primary into secondary school, so into Hartstown Community School. So then we have our entrance exams, and these will take place later on. It could be September or into October. So the entrance exams then just give us an idea of where the students are at that moment, and they're in classes, and the classes are all mixed ability. So it just gives us further information on where the students are at this particular time. Okay, so on to the next slide then, and we can see the different models that we use to support the students, and a lot of students will be familiar with this from primary school. Okay, so we have co-teaching, so that's where we'll have another teacher in the room, so the 2 teachers will work together in the best way to support our students. Also then there are small groups and individual support where students may be withdrawn from the class for additional support. Okay, so moving on then to the next slide. Okay, so we monitor our students carefully and keep an eye on them throughout their journey. So it's a little bit different to primary school because the students then are dealing with many different teachers instead of just one teacher. So the subject teachers then will liaise with the tutor, with the year head, and also with our SNAs. And our SNAs have excellent information and very valuable information because they get to see the student throughout the day, and students can be different or have different needs in different subjects, so it's good to get an overall view. We also then have our CAT 4 test, which are entrance exam. We have frequent assessment, which we again monitor carefully, and this year we will be using Athena, which will help us keep track of the students and how they are doing. So on to the next slide then. And if there are any questions that anybody has, they can contact me through the main office and I will get the message that will be passed on to me, or I can also give my own email, work emails, contact me directly there.
Great, thank you very much, Deirdre. So, as I said, my name is Mr. Fleming. I am going to be talking to you a little bit about extracurricular and all the exciting things that really excited to have you guys coming. We've been liaising with the primary schools, hearing loads about you. And obviously during COVID times, less has happened in schools and we're just so excited to get back to doing those things. And you can see here on this slide, there's a massive list, okay, of things that we do at the school. But actually, the first thing that you're going to encounter when you come to the school is in first year, we like to do about a month's worth of competitions on Fridays. Those competitions are a way for our students to sample all the different sports and all the different things that happen in school. But they're also a way for our coaches of all our different sports to see who's interested in what and then possibly get them funneled into those things as well. So that's a lovely thing that we do. So there's lots and lots of prize giving that happens in assemblies in the first month, and that's really nice for us. So the other thing you can see down the list of stuff, they're not going to go through the whole list because the amount of sports that we do at the schools actually would be exhausting to read, and you can see that in the tiny writing that it's written because there's so much of it. So all those sports are there, all the traditional sports are there, but all so we're really excited to see what you're interested in. We've also got lots of different links to the local clubs around the area. And so that's kind of what you'll be doing when we move into the year next year. So we can go to the next slide there, please. Thank you very much, Ms. Ryan. So this year, there's a lot of change happening over the course of the last couple of years at Hartstown Community School. So one of the changes that we're having this year is we're moving to have a new PE uniform. And we're actually really proud of it because we worked with our students. We had a really nice kind of consultative meeting with the students earlier on the year. And we listened to their feedback because their feedback was really valuable about the PE kit. The PE kit in our school had been the same for a long time. So we engage with students, we engage with coaches, we engage with students who love sport, we engage with students who didn't particularly enjoy PE. We engage with the whole kind of range of people, and we had a lively debate about what it should look like. 2 or 3 of the things that the students were really keen on were, one, they should be feel proud and feel good wearing it. Okay, so not too much garish colours, good brand and good quality material. 2, that they wanted a choice because we've got lots of different types of students, lots of different shapes and sizes of everybody in school, so people need to be comfortable. So there is an element of choice with regards to what people can wear on the bottom half as well, which is brilliant. The 3 main pieces that students will be wearing are the t-shirt, the kind of half zip, and then a pair of tracksuit bottoms. So you'll be able to access this online. There'll be a link on our school website that will feed into the O'Neill's website, and you'll be able to find that. That will be up soon. Okay, thanks, Ms. Ryan. We'll go to the next one. So you can see here, this is our timetable next year. We've actually been engaging, and we've been on a journey actually for about 4 or 5 years thinking about this. Currently, our school has 40-minute lessons. We've 8 40-minute lessons a day, which means that the day can feel very, very full and very, very fast-paced and a little bit frantic, okay? research that has come out of local schools, of education within Ireland and with outside Ireland, has kind of lent towards longer lessons and enabling more creative teaching and enabling different teaching activities to happen within the lesson environment. So we're going to try that next year. We're going to try and give our teachers a chance to teach within a longer format and use all these active engaging methodologies that feed into the new junior cycle. The new junior cycle it's at its core has lots of different key skills that 1 hour classes or 58-minute classes as they are will allow us to develop in those, and it's going to underpin that whole thing. So you can see there that actually we've moved to having a half day on a Friday, and the start and finish times are 8:28 to 3:26, and then we've got that half day on a Friday with a really, really early finish, which is lovely. You can see the finish time on that day is 12:20, so they'll have a nice lead into the weekend. Okay, thank you, Ms. Ryan. Oh, one of the really great things that we've done over the last couple of years as well, and we've completely remodeled our fitness gym. Our fitness gym had been gradually growing over the course of the last probably maybe 15 years, okay, and it kind of had started to resemble a bit of a kind of mismatch of different equipment from different eras. So we raised loads of money with all our students and all our community over the course of a year. And we did things like carol singing, we sold raffle tickets, we did lots of different stuff, and we were able to raise enough money, and the school contributed some money as well, and we remodeled our gym. Our gym now, if you go into it, it's lively every morning and every afternoon with students and with teachers working out and classes and things going on like that, and we use it within our PE lessons as well. But actually it rivals most commercial facilities in terms of how modern the equipment is and the things that you can do in there. So we're really proud of it. And we've just started examination PE this year with our first class, and they're using that a lot, and they're using it a lot in the lessons as well. So we feel really lucky, and we're really excited to get your sons and daughters into it and get them using it as well. So thank you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how you guys can support your students as well. If you can go back to the last slide, please,
yeah.
Miss Ryan.
Apologies, my internet is on and off the time, so it's skipped.
That's okay.
Come back. So you'll have to give 1 second. It's.
So look, I suppose what we'll talk a little bit about is. Are we okay? Okay, great. So how can you support? How can you support your student when they're in the move to secondary school? Secondary school is different to primary school. Okay, there's lots of different things there's a lot more going on that you need to keep an eye on. So we'll go on to the next one, please. So there's a little kind of pictogram here that shows you all the different things how you can support your child. So it's a really, really important role, and you just need to keep an eye on things at all times and establish good routines at home. Okay, make sure at the start, I'm going to be meeting all you before we start school. So that's a really positive thing. So we can make this really positive relationship so that you can feel like you can talk to us at any time and get in contact with Mr. Grennan or any of the deputies or myself or Miss Ryan. If you're having a problem or your child is worried about anything, those relationships are key, and we really want that to be a two-way relationship where you feel like you can ask things, we feel like we can call you. The main way that we communicate home, we've got the app and we'll be using that as well, but the main communication that goes from teachers and from Mr. Grennan and from myself is the student journal. So what I would be doing when my student comes home every night, my child comes home every night, I'd be sitting down and having a look through the journal, and you can really see what type of day they've had in school by looking at that journal. Okay. We'll go on to the next one. If that's okay, Miss. Thanks. Yeah, okay. So this is the pictogram I was talking about a minute ago. It's just an easy way to see what's going on. Okay, so the first thing is about staying connected. And we talked about that a little bit a minute ago. One of the ways that you can stay connected is with the journal. Obviously, the next way of staying connected is by downloading the VSware app, which we're going to talk about in a minute. We'll move on to the next one, please, Ms. Ryan. Okay.
Okay. I'll talk about the app for a second here. So we have a new messaging service parents starting next year. So we, as you would have realised there, the messages that you would have got from myself from the school, we're looking at having a more efficient way of communicating with everybody, basically. So it's not just going as a text message to your phone, but on VSware, which is the management system that we use in our school to record attendance, exam results, and our way of communicating through text messages to your parents. There's a new section on that now that will offer us an easier way to communicate with all of you. You'll also be able to, you'll have to register for an account, and you'll also be able to log absences or inform the school if your child is sick. You'll be able to do it through the app, just in case you can't get through to the school office. It's just a much more efficient way of communicating with you. It'll be really useful to parents, and it'll be really useful for us as well, where we'll be able to send you, like the document I sent you the other day, the welcome letter, we'll be able to send you that in a much clearer format and a much easier format for everybody.
And Miss, what I also love is the fact that there's teachers and students there at the same time competing against each other to see who are the best. Some healthy competition.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's normally the teachers coming out at the bottom because the students are getting stuff in.
We're nearly
actually,
back to normal.
What we have been able to do since the start of term, since we got back to extracurricular, we're doing the fitness, we've got back to the rugby, we've been doing a little bit of rounders and things like that as well. So here we go, we'll get back started with this. Okay, so as I said earlier on, we're talking about staying connected, okay, and that's really, really important, and that's why we want to meet everyone at the start, just stay connected with everyone so that we build that relationship from the start and we just keep that going, okay? Anything that we send you home in terms of newsletters, any communication from VSware, messages from VSware, anything like that, it's really important that you read those and sit down and understand them with your child, okay? Because there's lots of things that we want you to know and upcoming things that you'll need to know about as well. In terms of attendance, it's really important to come to any parents' information evening. You're here, which is brilliant, and any parent-teacher meetings, okay? That's a great opportunity to touch base with your child's teacher and just have a chat and find out where they can improve and where they're doing really, really well, which is good. So follow us on social media. We've got a great Twitter page which talks about all the things that are going on in school. We've got a great sports Twitter page as well. The P department have a Twitter page. So there's lots of stuff. You'll find out like kind of daily what's on the school, and that's nice to see what all our students are doing. As Miss Ryan said earlier on, please download the VSware app. That's how most of our communication is going to be happening from now on. And also VSware will allow you to see your child's reports when they come out every year. And then the other thing is, please join the Parents Association. We have a great Parents Association that are really, really supportive within our school, and they're looking for members. So please join the PE department, okay? Or sorry, the Parents Association, excuse me.
We're just doing some canvassing there for the PE
Yeah,
department.
exactly. I'm a PE teacher. Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. I will be sending out information to all parents about the VSware app. There is a booklet from VSware that will go through step by step how to download the app, how to register yourself and connect to your students, or sorry, to your child's details on the app. So I'll be able to go through all of that with you when VSware send out that booklet. It'll go straight, get it sent straight to you guys, and it'll give you very clear instructions on how to use the app and everything. So we'll also be holding clinics at some stage about, I know you're probably going, how do I look at the report and everything on my child from VSware? The report is like their progress card, like they would their progress report they get in primary school, very similar, but it's all online. In our school, only in the last year or two now it's all online. So we'll run some clinics on that as well, because that's quite new to all the parents in our school, whether they've been there for a couple of years or whether you're new like maybe a lot of you. Accessing the reports and everything on VSware is something new only in the last year or two. So we will be running clinics on that to show you specifically how to access the report, where to look for it, and kind of what it means and all that. Okay, getting organised.
Okay.
Thanks, Miss.
Yeah. So just in terms of, I suppose we want to say to all the boys and girls and all the parents and guardians that have tuned in tonight, you know, this is a really, really, really exciting time for you. However, I suppose there are lots of different emotions that come with the transition from primary school to post-primary school. So just some kind of tips and tricks on how to get organised and reduce the stress for both the parents and for the students themselves. So just in terms of packing your bag the night before with all your equipment in your journal, you know, post-primary school is very different to primary school, so you'll have lots of different subjects with lots of different books, some before lunch and some after lunch. So we'll be when you come into us in August, we'll be going through different ways of helping you prepare and get yourself organised to make sure that you're coming to school as best prepared as possible. In terms of the night before, so set your alarm and get yourself into good routines and good habits. Know your route to school. So, you know, practice your route to school. Are you going to walk? Are you going to cycle? Are you going to come by car? Are you going to come by bus? And breakfast, hugely important, the most important meal of the day. So it's hugely important that you get yourself up on time to make sure that you get time in the morning to have your breakfast. And we also normally would have a breakfast club in the morning in the canteen to allow students to come in, and it's great because it gives students a chance to kind of connect with their peers and gives them the opportunity to have their breakfast in the morning in time before they go to class. And punctuality, so it's very important that you are aware of what time you need to leave your house at in the morning and what time you need to leave your house at during lunch to make sure that you're back in time for the afternoon. So in terms of your own personal hygiene, so create good habits and good routines. Clean uniform, clean and ready uniform, clean and ready PE uniform. So they're just some of the tips and tricks that we will go through with you anyway when you come into us in August, but just to kind of be thinking along those lines now. Thanks, Miss. Okay, so just in terms of the arrival and your school day, so this is just kind of a synopsis or to give you an idea of how your school day will look when you come into us in August. So what we would like you to do is to start having conversations with your child in relation to how their school day will look. So you will arrive in the school by approximately 8:15 and your assembly will start at 8:28. Now, all of this information is all very new to you, so don't be stressed or panicking. You know, this will all be very familiar to you after day one when you come up to us in August. You will meet your year head, so you are lucky enough to be able to meet Mr. Grennan every morning at 8:28, and he will address you as a full year group, and you will feel very much connected and part of your first year group. After you speak with Mr. Grennan, you will then go into your tutorial class. So one of those classes that Mr. Grennan went through with you earlier on, you will meet your tutor. So you will meet the same person every single morning, and they will help you prepare yourself and get yourself ready for your day. And this is something that we pride ourselves on in terms of the support structures that are in place up in Hartstown Community School. You are very lucky. You get to meet the same person, same couple of people every morning, and they will help you prepare yourself for the day ahead. From August, our classes will be 58 minutes in the morning. So you will have on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you'll have 3 classes before lunch, your lunch break, and 3 classes after lunch. On a Friday, then you will have 4 classes and you will finish your day a little bit earlier. In terms of your lunch, there's a big area there, a general assembly area, where if you don't live close enough or in the catchment, you can stay in, you can bring your lunch with you and you can stay in. And again, it gives students an opportunity to get to know other students in the school. The grounds are so beautiful. We're lucky in Hartstown Community School, we have beautiful grounds that our students can walk around during lunch break. They can sit and have picnics on the picnic tables. So I know at the moment it's a lovely feeling. It's that hustle and bustle and seeing students, connect with each other and enjoy their lunch together. So you can either go home for lunch or you can stay in for lunch if that doesn't suit you. Thanks, Miss. Okay, so as we say goodbye to our current 6th years, we have asked them for some words of wisdom for you all in terms of your journey ahead with us in Hartstown Community School. So what they've said is that there will be big changes. You know, you're coming into a bigger building. If you remember back to the open day in Hartstown Community School, where, you know, there was loads of classrooms, loads of specialised classrooms. So you would have visited the home ec rooms and the woodwork rooms and the science labs. So that's very different to what you're used to, but it's very exciting, and you will love your time with us in Hartstown Community School. They have also said to stay on top of your workload and your study. So don't let things get on top of you. If you stay ahead of the game, you will enjoy your time much better. Good attendance helps keep on top of the workload. So obviously the better your attendance is, the better prepared you will feel for classes and when you're doing your homework and your study. It gives you greater independence. You know, maybe now you don't walk to school on your own. You might be walking to school on your own and walking home from school over the next few years. So it gives you greater independence. They also said there's a different atmosphere. So there's opportunities with this, and there is challenges. But just to reassure you that there's a great support system in our school to help you prepare for those opportunities and challenges. Communication is important. So they have said, you know, make sure you have the confidence to ask questions and to speak up in class and to get to know your peers and your teachers. They also said to get involved in extracurricular activities and all the different clubs and societies that are on offer in the school. They said they would like you to be your own person. So enjoy your time and make lots of memories. Time goes by so fast. They also said there's great support in terms of guidance counsellors, year heads, tutors, teachers, the senior leadership team, the school chaplain, and each other. So make sure you use the resources that are available to you when you come up to us in the school. There's a huge caring team that will mind you and look after you once you come up to us in Hartstown. Thanks, Miss.
Hello, everybody. My name is Miss Costello, and you're very welcome this evening. And I just want to spend a couple of minutes talking to you a little bit about your curriculum, first of all. So you can see there, as you move into secondary school, that your curriculum and your subject choices change. Well, a lot of them stay the same, but I suppose you've more choice. So we have our English, Irish, Maths, History and Geography, and then we have Science, SPHE and CSBE, Wellbeing, PEIT and Religious Education. But you also have a huge amount of choice. And after this meeting and over the next day or two, you'll receive a text message with your subject choice form. And that form is really important, and it's where you pick your optional subjects. So when you get that message over the next couple of days, parents, if you just sit down with your child and really have a good look at those options that are all available and make your choices and send them back in to us. Just one thing to pay attention to on that is the deadline. So there is a deadline date on that form, and it's on the top of that form. So just pay attention to that when you receive that. Okay, so they're your choices. You have a very broad, wide-ranging subject choice within our school, and there is most definitely something to suit absolutely everybody. So we'll move on, Miss. And the next piece, I suppose, is to talk to you about our school journal. Great, thanks. So our school journal is something that we're just so proud of. And we've talked an awful lot this evening about communication. And really, the journal is like, it's such an important piece for communication, but it's also a really important book for our students. The next, you know, particularly over those first couple of months. So our journal there, you can see our front cover. This is our front cover for this year's journal. But one of the lovely things about Hartstown this year is that we've now opened up the journal design and the front cover design to our students. So we ran a competition this year under the theme of resilience. So where you see there the photograph or the picture on the top, that picture will change for the incoming first years, and it will be based around the theme of resilience. And the picture that you'll see at the front of this year's journal will be that of a phoenix. So it's a really exciting initiative. Our junior students and our senior students have got really involved in that competition this year, and it's something that you will definitely have the opportunity to to submit pieces of work for the journal front cover over the coming years. So when you go inside of the journal, like keeping track of all the different things in school in the first couple of months is really important. And, students can sometimes worry about remembering where I need to go and who my teachers are, remembering their names and remembering the rooms. But actually, once you have your journal and everything filled in within your journal, you will navigate around the school and through your different subjects and through your homework really, really smoothly. Okay, so for the students, the journal is a hugely, hugely important item to have with them every single day, because they'll know where they're going around the school, they'll record all their homework through the school, they'll see all their different teachers and their names, and it's so important for them. So the journal also, parents, it's something for, it's a communications piece between the school and home as well. So we ask that our parents sign the journal at the end of every week, and that is generally checked by tutors. So I know when you're in primary school that you do use your journals, and that you do use journals. You probably sign it every day. In secondary school, you will sign it at the end of every week. And any notes that, any piece of communication that you need to give to a tutor or to your year head through a note can be done through the journal. So you'll be used to using a journal from primary school, but I suppose in terms of secondary school, it's like your safety net. It tells you where you're going to go, it tells you what your homework is, and it helps to keep that communication, it's the primary piece of communication between the school and home. So it is important, it's really important. There'll be a slightly different front cover on it this year for you guys, but it's really important to make sure we have that every day in the bag. And then just very briefly on the previous form that I just talked about, just pay attention to the deadline on that. Okay, thanks, Miss.
Just to say on the journals about our student council have a huge input into the journal every year. So we really respect the student voice in school. They review it every year. A group of teachers along with the senior leadership team, we review it every year as well. So there's a huge choice from the students of what they like and what they don't like. So it's so that journal is designed by a group of students and by us as well. And this is the first year that we would have had a competition, as Ms. Costa said there, with our beautiful Phoenix that's going to be on it next year. It's the first year we've run a competition, and we will be running it every single year. We've a huge amount of talented students in our school who are very artistic, as well. It's absolutely beautiful, and we're very excited to see more of the students' work on our journal, because it is there. It's the school's journal, it's the students' journal. It's a really important piece for you, and it's something that you're going to get to know very well when you come to us in September. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few things with you now, more kind of housekeeping here for families. Okay, book grants. So if you wish to avail of a book grant form, contact the school office and they'll be able to send you a form by post or by email. As Ms. Costello said there, the student subject options form, that's quite an exciting time, I think, for students, because before this you wouldn't have had so much kind of choices to make, so many choices to make. A lot of the time the parents are making the choice, but also in primary school you're following a curriculum in primary school that everybody does, whereas this is kind of your first time now to choose something that you have a passion for and you have an interest for. So it's a really, really exciting time for you. And the practical side at the back of that is you need to get the form in. There's subjects that are hugely popular. All of our option subjects, they fill up really, really fast. So get your options sorted. Have a talk with your child at home, see what they're interested in. It's the most important thing. Don't be going picking what your friends want, or what your friends are doing, or anything like that, or what you might perceive to be an easier subject or anything like that. Pick something that you have an interest in, because it will have a huge benefit for you for the rest of your life. But get the forms in, that'll be sent out to you as a link, as Ms. Costello just explained to you there. Confirmation of registration. So as an incoming first year student, you would have received a place of offer letter, and on that letter you would have had to sign a form to say that I am accepting my place of offer. Okay. So all of those are back. Everybody that's here with us tonight has sent that back. And then after that, then we're going to send you some information on easy payments. So because of COVID this year, we brought in easy payments, which you might be using, in some of the primary schools use it. It's a link on our website where you can pay for your registration fee, your subject fees, all of that kind of stuff, your journal, your insurance and all that online. It makes it so much easier, so you're not having to come into the school. There's no handling of cash or coins or anything like that. It's a really, really brilliant method for you. It makes it so much easier. It just kind of restricts you having to come to the school and do all that. And you'll also get a receipt sent back to you as well. So I'll be sending information out to you all on that and how to register with easy payments and all the different options there. It's a very simple platform to use. You're just going online to easy payments. The link is on our website, and on it, when you go in, you'll see first year payments, second year, third year, fourth year and all that. It includes the registration fee. It includes, you'll see an option for a journal, you'll see options for TY, and you'll see options for certain specific subjects like woodwork and art who have fees for materials that they'd use, okay? Also on that, can you just make sure that we have correct details? That's extremely important. That we have, if there's any change of details since you filled out that application form online through the website, please let us know. On that application form, you would have seen parent 1, guardian 1, and parent 2, guardian 2. So just make sure that we have everybody's details there, and let us know if there is one parent, 2 parents, or an aunt or a granny or anybody else that we need to have as a contact on our school system, okay? We normally pick one parent the main contact, but if you wish to have more than that, that is no problem. Just let us know, and just make sure that we have a correct mobile, correct address and all that. If there's been any sort of a change at all, just let us know so that we can send you, because it's really important now, since we don't have these in-face things and we're not sending out letters anymore or anything like that, it's really important we have the correct information for you. And the sports and recreation contribution as well, so that it covers a lot of your insurance for any, and a lot of the equipment and stuff that would be used for that. So that covers a lot of those parts, of particularly the insurance, which is really, really important for you. Okay. So now the Parents Association, so I'm just going to speak briefly about the Parents Association. It is a wonderful association. There's parents on the association that are really, really experienced. They know the school inside out, and they have a really good voice on our board of management, on our how decisions that are made within the school. We meet with the Parents Association regularly. They they've a really big input into the uniform, and they've done a huge amount of work for the school over the years, and it's an area that we also want to see progress over the next few years. So if any of you are interested in joining Parents Association, please do just contact the school and we'll give you the contact for the Parents Association. It's absolutely brilliant. They're a wonderful group of people who are really supportive of the school, and who really lend a huge voice from the parents to the school, and that voice is extremely important because as I said from the very start, we have a collective role between the school, the parent and the child, and how everything progresses and how everything works. So please do join the Parents Association. It's a really wonderful group to join. As I said, many of the parents are very experienced. They know so many things about the school, and particularly if you're a new parent to school this year, this might be your oldest child coming to secondary school, or your first child coming to secondary school. So it would be a really good way for you to network and connect with other parents in the school. So so just let us know, contact the office, and I'll send you the details for that then, okay?
Okay, so some of you might be very familiar, or you might recognize some of our lovely models here in these pictures. And I suppose this will be a very exciting and proud moment for you as parents when your child puts on this uniform. So just in terms of the school uniform, like the PE uniform, there's a generic jumper and school t-shirt with a school shirt and a school tie, and then also you have the option of wearing a skirt or trousers. So that's just you know, images there of how the school uniform looks. So just in terms of where you get the school uniform, it's available in Leddies in Blanchardstown Village. And also for your convenience, we've organised a company to come into the school. The dates are on the next slide. So the company is called Kadeen, and they're going to be in school for fittings. They will allow you to pay a deposit and allow you to collect it in the school. So we can move on, and I'll show you the dates now. He's available in our school on June 14th and in August 9th and August 16th. Notification of this will be sent to your schools, and posters will be put up in your schools just in terms of when these dates, just confirmation of these dates, and this presentation will also be up on our YouTube channel, so you'll be able just to confirm the date. So as I say, this is for your convenience. You could come in if you're unsure about sizing, you can come in and purchase and fit it and collect it in the school. Just in terms of footwear, so our shoes, for health and safety reasons, our shoes must be plain black and hard leather with a hard covering, toe covering. So this is for health and safety purposes. So that's just kind of a visual of what's acceptable footwear and what's, so no canvas or plimsolls will be allowed in the school. Also, just in terms of our PE uniform and where you can purchase it. So as Mr. Fleming said earlier, this is a new PE uniform. So you guys will be lucky enough to be the first year group, the first years to ever wear this PE uniform. So this PE uniform will be available on our website. There will be a link bringing you to the O'Neill's website where you can purchase this PE uniform. Also on the day that you come up to the school, there will be a sample sizes there available for you to look at, just in terms of sizing. We all know that, I suppose, it's very difficult to purchase the correct size online. So we'll have them available to you for your convenience as well when you're in the school over the coming weeks. Thanks, Ms. Ryan.
Thank you. Okay, we have Ms. Costello. Thank you.
Yeah. So just folks, in terms of your book lists, so the books, where can you buy the books? So the books are going to be available in Bookhaven, but when you visit the website, you'll see that there will be a link, or there will be a code for your child's book list, and you can put that code into that section on the website in Bookhaven, and that code will help you order everything, and then the books will be delivered to your door. So the delivery charge is an extra $3.99, but you can book that from Bookhaven in Blanchardstown. And also on Tuesday, the 6th of July, from 10 until 2, you can call to the school, and there'll be a team there also from Bookhaven, and they will be able to take your orders.
Your Wi-Fi's.
They'll be able to take your payment, and you can either collect them from the store, or you can have them delivered to your home then again for that charge of $3.95. So there's multiple different options there, and we hope that those options suit everybody. So that's in the school from Tuesday the 6th of July from 10 to 2, or otherwise you can order them through the website with the code for your child's book list.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Ms. Costello. So what's the next step then for you guys after our induction evening this evening? What's the next step? We'll be going out to continue our visits with the primary schools. So some of the students that are on there now watching, we'll be out to visit your primary schools over the next week or so as well. We'll be going to Sacred Heart tomorrow morning, so you'll be seeing myself and Mr. Fleming tomorrow morning bright and early, right at the start of the day. So we really look forward to seeing you, and we'll be visiting the other schools as well over the next week or so as well. Okay. Also then in June, we will be looking to meet with a parent and the student between all of our first year team here, just for a couple of minutes to say hello and welcome, and so that you get to see us face to face before you come in. See, normally we would have had loads of different activities on where groups of students from the different primary schools would come in and visit our school and do different activities. We haven't had that this year, obviously, with COVID, and we haven't been able to get out to the primary schools as much either. Normally we go out a good few times and get to know them all a bit better. So this year is a little different, unfortunately, but what we're going to try and do in June, and I've spoken to the primary school principals about this, and they're very, very much in favour of it. They're delighted with it. But we're going to try and arrange almost kind of like a parent-teacher meeting, but a much more informal setting of, you know, this is what our school is like, these are our expectations, and it's just a couple of minutes of a chat from each of us to say, hello, how are you, and welcome. So we're really looking forward to that. Then what next to do? Get your uniform, your PE kit, your books, your journal, your insurance, your registration, all the different practical things that you're going to need. Start looking at that. We'll send you out more information on all of it, how to access it, where to get it and all that. We've given a lot here, but we'll send out on a document, like the document I sent you the other day. We'll send you out information and all that. So start gathering those bits now and get yourselves ready for it. Then check out the website and our social media pages. We have a lot of different accounts on Twitter for the different subject departments and the different areas of the school. So make sure you get on Twitter and follow us on Twitter, and you'll get really up-to-date information on that. Our Twitter is linked to our website as well, which is updated regularly. So make sure you have a look at that as well. That all our policies are there. As parents, you will be asked before your child starts at our school that you've read all the policies and you've gone through that, like our acceptable usage, our charter of behaviour, our anti-bullying policy, and so on. So have a look at that. All our information on the school is available there as well. Loads of ideas on extracurricular activities as well. So for all our students, our future students, make sure you have a look at that and you see, well, what would you like to take part in? You know, what are you interested in, and what area of school life will you contribute to when you join us in. So more information, there's our website. Our Twitter handle is Hartstown CS, and from that you'll see all the other different areas within the school. There's a brilliant woodwork one, there's a brilliant PE one, there's a brilliant science one as well. It's fantastic. So have a look at that. You'll get access to the rest of them from there. Okay.